Two children disappear from a quiet town. No sound, no witnesses, no trace. But now, this story isn't only about Lily and Jack. It's about shifting timelines, conflicting accounts, and a community no longer willing to stay silent. Because when those entrusted to protect begin hiding behind closed doors, someone has to step forward and open them. Before we dive into today's story, kindly subscribe to our Shadow Detective channel if you believe in fighting for justice. Kindly help us reach 200 subscribers, and we believe that with energy and support, we will achieve it. Let's build this community that refuses to stay silent, to stop asking the hardest question of all, but why? Every view, every comment, and every subscriber is a stand against silence and a step toward truth for those who can't fight for themselves. It was still dark, the kind of silence that only exists before the world stirs awake. No birdsong, no engines in the distance, just fog, heavy, unbroken. And in that silence, a mother made a choice that would alter everything. Malehya stepped out with Lily in her arms, Jack trailing close behind. The clock hadn't struck 5:30 a.m. yet. Dew still clung to the air. Every porch light was out, every curtain drawn, no bag, no note, nothing prepared. Just a walk to the end of the road, where a vehicle waited. Headlights off, engine idling low, like a secret being kept. Jack hesitated. He asked where they were going. Malehya didn't answer. She opened the door and ushered them in. Lily held tight to her pink blanket, the one she never slept without. And then, just like that, they vanished into the mist. Malehya stood and watched the car disappear. No words, no wave, no trace of hesitation. Then she turned back inside the house, alone. Inside, nothing had changed. Breakfast untouched. Blinds still closed. Silence heavy. By 6:17 a.m., the phone rang out, Malehya calling the school. Her voice steady, rehearsed. Lily won't be in class. She's sick. But that morning, no one saw the children. Not a neighbor, not the mailman, not the school bus driver who passed their house just before 7. And the question pressed heavier with every passing hour. Why? Why take them before dawn? Why place them in a car that left no witness behind? And most haunting of all, why come back, alone? She wouldn't call police until nearly 4 hours later, between 6:17 and 10 a.m. Silence stretched thin. The story already cracking. At 10:03 a.m., the 911 call came in. Malehya's voice shook as she told dispatch the unthinkable. Lily and Jack were gone. Missing from the house, she claimed they must have slipped out the back through the sliding glass door. But there was a problem. That door was no secret in Landown Station. It stuck, loudly. You had to yank it open and slam it shut. It never moved quietly, not even for an adult. And yet, we were asked to believe two small children somehow managed to open it and simply walk away. No prints, no cries for help, no signs of struggle. Just an open space and silence. Search crews mobilized quickly, helicopters overhead, bloodhounds on leashes, officers on horseback, locals pushing into the woods with flashlights, boots, and breaking voices. And as the search stretched deeper into the trees, one thing became clear: Lily and Jack hadn't just wandered off. Then something surfaced. Roughly 300 feet from the back porch, hidden in tall grass near the wood's edge, searchers found Lily's pink blanket. It was damp, wrinkled, dropped, not folded, left there hurriedly or carelessly. Nearby, a single boot print. Small, fresh, but there were no other matching tracks. No trail leading forward, no sign of Lily or Jack moving through the grass, no adult prints, not even Malehya's. It wasn't a path, it was a breadcrumb. And breadcrumbs mean one thing: someone left them behind, whether by mistake or on purpose. That pink blanket, Lily's favorite, broke something open. And once cracks appear, people start peering through them. Questions poured in, because the moment that blanket was found, out in the tall grass, far from any clear path, the timeline began to unravel. At 6:17 a.m., Malehya called the school. Calm, controlled. She said Lily wouldn't be in class. She was sick. But no neighbor saw the children that morning. Not a passerby, not the mailman, not even the bus driver who rolled past before 7. Neighbors began to speak. That sliding glass door, you needed 2 hands and a shoulder shove just to budge it. It was heavy, loud, impossible to miss. So how could 2 small children have managed it alone? Malehya's story of them slipping quietly out the back was already unraveling. And then she made a move that unsettled everyone. She left. She moved out of the family home. Cut ties with Daniel. Blocked him. Refused interviews. No press, no public statements. No presence at community vigils. What kind of mother walks away from the house her missing children might return to? Was it grief, or was it guilt? Because silence can protect a wound, or conceal a secret. As hours bled into days, and days into weeks, the search shifted into something else entirely. What began as a desperate search became a criminal investigation. The RCMP Major Crime Unit stepped in. The tone changed, colder, sharper, less hopeful. Investigators pulled more than 5,000 hours of video. Traffic cams, highway surveillance, doorbell cameras, even dash cam footage from delivery drivers, searching for a vehicle, a shadow, a trace. Over 600 tips poured in, some heartfelt, some outlandish, some deeply unsettling. But none led to Lily or Jack, not even close. Police interviewed more than 60 people, relatives, friends, neighbors, co-workers. Some broke down in tears. Others stayed tight-lipped. A few refused to answer at all. And still, nothing. Daniel, the children's stepfather, agreed to a polygraph. He says he passed. He insists he loved Lily and Jack as if they were his own. Then came the warrants. Police seized phones, computers, old clothes, memory cards, even the vehicle Malehya was driving that morning. But nothing, not even the blanket, brought answers. That soft pink fabric became a symbol. It was confirmed to be Lily's, but its presence raised more questions than it answered. Why was it so far from the house? Why was it left out, untouched, unstained, but completely out of place? If the children had wandered off, why was there no trail, no tears, no panic from the mother in those first few minutes? Instead, what we had was a story full of pauses, gaps that didn't close, timelines that didn't hold. The cracks in the timeline widened. The early morning phone call to the school at 6:17 a.m., the unexplained drive, the missing hours, the blanket in the grass. Every piece was real, but none of them made sense. One relative, in a post that was deleted within hours, wrote she took the kids. And she knows it. Another posted, it's all about the money. That's all it's ever been. The words were harsh, accusatory, spoken not by strangers, but by people who once shared her dinner table. What started as mourning had turned to suspicion. Suspicion into accusation. An accusation into cold, angry silence. Even Daniel's defenders began to pull back, not because of evidence, but because of exhaustion. The public was done waiting for answers. They wanted justice, they wanted truth, and some just wanted someone to blame. But in the middle of it all, between online wars, family fallout, and the slow-moving machine of the investigation, 2 names got quieter. Lily, Jack. 2 children, 2 stories, almost forgotten in the noise. This wasn't the first time a small-town tragedy cracked the nation's heart wide open. It echoed other disappearances. Tori Stafford in Ontario. The Skelton brothers in Michigan. Stories where children vanished, and the last people to see them alive were those closest to them. And in each of those stories, the same fractures were exposed. Parents drowning in silence. Mental health warnings missed or ignored. Law enforcement slow to act. And communities trusting until it's too late. Every time, it's the same pattern. And every time, it's the children who have no say, no power, no voice, just a name on a flyer. A photo shared across timelines. A teddy bear left outside in the rain. So the question we're left with is no longer just what happened to Lily and Jack. It's bigger than that, it's darker than that. It's how many others are slipping through the same broken net, while we argue over who to blame. All these months later, still no bodies, no arrests, no confirmed motive. Only questions. Why did Malehya take them out so early that morning, before the sun even rose? Why alone? What happened during that quiet, untraceable window of time, between 6:17 a.m. and 10 a.m., when no one saw them, no one heard from them, and nothing made sense? And what about that pink blanket, found far from the house, soaked and silent? Was it a forgotten comfort item, or the beginning of a cover-up? There were no known predators in the area, no signs of a break-in, no accident site, no ransom. So what does that leave? They said the children wandered off, quietly, unnoticed. It happens, doesn't it? But if that were true, why did everything else feel so wrong? Why did the story keep shifting? Why did trust start to unravel the moment Malehya left? And the hardest question of all, is this a mother paralyzed by trauma, or someone hiding the truth in plain sight? This story isn't over. Not while 2 children are still missing. Not while timelines don't add up. Not while silence speaks louder than facts. Someone out there knows something. Maybe it was a passing glance. A car on the wrong road at the wrong hour. A voice heard through a wall. A story told once and never repeated. If you're watching this and you know anything at all, say something. Contact RCMP. Reach out to Crime Stoppers. Because justice doesn't whisper. It doesn't sit still. And it never forgets the smallest voices. Lily was 5. Jack was 3. They didn't choose this. They didn't run. They didn't vanish. They were taken from their beds, their toys, their futures. So if you believe in justice, drop a comment. Share this video. Say their names. Let the algorithm carry their story, where silence tried to bury it. Justice for Lily. Justice for Jack. Justice for every child who had no say. Because silence doesn't protect them, but truth just might.